What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Different leagues.
One snap.
Welcome back to the bullshit. It's crazy to think how we are now over halfway through the season. And it's even crazier to see the number of people that have joined up with the Red Army to follow me on this journey. Regardless of if you have been here since the beginning or if this is the first time you're watching me, thank you. The support you guys have given this channel continues to amaze me, and I am extremely grateful to have every single one of you watching. What's also kind of crazy is that nearly 70% of you guys who are watching this video right now are currently not subscribed at all. I get it, I lurk on a lot of channels myself without subscribing to them, so I'm just as guilty. All I'm going to ask is that if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like what I'm doing here. It's a long shot, but I think we can hit 10,000 subscribers by the national championship game. I might even do a live celebration stream if that happens. Anyways, that's enough of that. Now let's get to why you're here. I'm sure not too much happened, and it was a nice and quiet... fucking damn it, this is gonna be a long one, isn't it? The excitement for this game was so incredibly high that a whopping 671 people bought a ticket to come see it. Yeah, it turns out moving your home games over 70 miles away during renovations to your stadium didn't work out. Then again, who the hell would drive that far to watch Sam Houston shit themselves for 60 minutes? Okay, I'm only slightly kidding. It was a fairly close game as the misguided felines kept it within reach during the first half. However, Miners quarterback Skylar Locklear would put this one away almost too easily, going full chicken jockey with a rushing touchdown in the third and a touchdown pass in the fourth to Kenny Odom. This continues the worst stretch of football for Sam Houston in their program's entire history. The former FCS national champions are now 0-7 for the second time in 3 years. They are the poster child of why the grass is not always greener on the other side when moving up from FCS, even if the money certainly is. I think the UTRGV Vaqueros could hang 60 on them right now, and that team is in the middle of their first fucking season, ever. I don't say this because the Bearcats suck. I say this because their head coach, Phil Longo, certainly does. The only thing you are good for at this point, setting up a generational Sickos Bowl against Oregon State on the CW in a few weeks. Winning now would cost us the opportunity of witnessing this glorious contest, and that would be a major disappointment. Damn it, Beavers, what the fuck? You blew our chance to witness greatness. In the best trophy game in college football, the $5 bits of broken share is on the line as Nebraska faces Minnesota. I don't care if both schools won't recognize the goddamn trophy, they should. It's the best rivalry game in the Big Ten, and I will hear no argument. Okay, second best. Regardless, we have a problem. I can't find Nebraska's offense. No, seriously, they're not here. Did they miss their flight? Oversleep in the hotel? Or did they hire stunt doubles to play as them in this game like the Louisiana Voodoo of the AFL did last year? Because this wasn't what I have come to expect as Nebraska football under Matt Rule. Little Mahomes got fucking killed in this game with a school record 9 sacks for Minnesota. Nebraska couldn't score a goddamn touchdown and against a defense that was missing some of its best corners. Oh wait, Nebraska was missing some linemen due to injury as well. Oh, it wasn't just linemen that were injured. Okay, sure, you could easily blame injuries or just admit that PJ Fleck is one of the most underrated coaches in the Big Ten. But I think the real answer here is that Nebraska is distracted. It's no secret that Matt Rule might leave for Penn State. The connections he has with the program from being a former player in the 90s, as well as the friendship he has with the athletic director, make him an obvious choice to land the job, no matter how much he tries to deny it. Then again, Penn State doesn't need someone that rebuilds programs. They need a guy who can take them all the way. I'll admit Matt Rule is very good at taking a shitty team and making them bowl eligible, but anything beyond that, he just hasn't been able to do. If he does end up leaving for Penn State, the Nittany Lions might be getting a bag of beans rather than a pot of gold. What do you mean we're still talking about Friday night? Something happened in Miami? What do you mean something happened in fucking Miami? Wait, what month is it? Oh, it's mid-October? Well, shit. Miami is about to crash and burn again, aren't they?
Yeah. Moss, and it's Bell breaking free inside the 20, inside the 10. It's a Louisville touchdown.
As sure as the sun fucking rises, Miami has proven once again that they are frauds. I'm not even laughing at them at this point. It's like clockwork with these fuckers. Start off incredibly hot with a couple decent wins before bursting into a ball of flames midway through the season. A Category 5 choke job ensued in Hard Rock Stadium, and it was all thanks to one man, Carson fucking Beck. I wanted to get pissed off at Mario Cristobal again, but this motherfucker has completely prevented me from doing that thanks to throwing 4 goddamn interceptions. The Carson Beck we saw at Georgia last season came roaring back and made up for lost time within 60 minutes. It was no more apparent to everyone than on the final drives. After throwing his 3rd interception of the game, the Miami defense immediately responded and came up with one of the most perfect forced fumbles I have seen all season. Miami would capitalize with a touchdown that FAU couldn't even fuck up, and a 2-pointer to get within 3. After another excellent stop by the Miami defense, Carson Beck would lead the Hurricanes down the field into field goal range. Only to throw a fucking interception. Oh, God, Miami, you are fucking pathetic. I knew it was coming, despite what people were saying looking at your schedule. You always find a way to lose at the worst possible times. The only thing saving you is that Louisville is pretty good themselves. Therefore, your playoff hopes aren't dead, but your ACC title hopes are on life support. The Red Army, after this performance, has decided that you are the worthy recipient of Dumbass of the Week because you overrated sacks of shit, blew it harder than Hurricane Andrew.
Pavia. This is what he can do, and he's got a lot of green space to do it. As Pavia gets it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Pavia trying to do it on his own. They got to undo it, and they say yes. Touchdown, Pavia. Alexander straight ahead is in. 4th down, touchdown, Cedric Alexander. Down at 2. And that is where they will run with the option and the pitch to Young. And here goes M.K. Young. Chunk play, Doors. Pavia to the end zone. Wide open touchdown. Cole Spence. And they're going for it. Here's Pavia, 4th and 1. What magic does he have left? Are you kidding me? M.K. Young dashing and dancing and getting a 1st down. Another 1st down for Vandy. Pressure off the edge. He steps up and now he's going to run for the end zone and score. Diego Pavia.
those of you thinking the run was over after the Alabama loss, y'all probably know now just how foolish you were to think this. This isn't same old Vandy anymore. This is the new Vanderbilt. Last year when they beat Alabama, it was a sign that they arrived. This win over LSU is the sign they are here to stay. If you ask me, if Vanderbilt and Alabama were to play again in, I don't know, the SEC championship, Vandy is beating Bama. Also, congratulations to LSU on being eliminated from the playoffs. Way to waste Garrett Nussmeier. You know, I don't think Brian Kelly is working out there in Baton Rouge. I hear James Franklin is looking for a job, though. Wait a fucking minute. I gotta talk about UMass. At best, they belong in rapid fire for being a burning dumpster. What the fuck happened?
Stop here. You don't want to give up any more yards.
Pressure, deep ball down the right side. It's in the air. And it's intercepted. Jeremiah McGill waves by.
Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. They did it. They finally won a game against an FBS opponent. It's a miracle. It's a true miracle. Yes, they got a flag and are backed up to their own end zone now, but there's less than a minute left and Buffalo is out of timeouts. Wait, you didn't burn any clock because Buffalo actually had all 3 timeouts?
About 10 minutes ago. Roberson, high ball, Victor Snow in the corner. He got it! Touchdown Buffalo! Impossible!
Shake for this play! Shake for this play! Shake for this play!
I just don't get it, guys. No, really. I just don't understand. You had the game won. You honestly were the better team for 59 out of 60 minutes. Buffalo did not deserve to win this game, and they should be thanking the flying spaghetti monster that they somehow bumblefucked their way into a win. As for you, bozos, this moment summarizes just how much of a shit show you have become. This team is a full-ass clusterfuck of problems. Nothing has gone right in years. The fans that show up at this point don't cheer for you, they cheer for your downfall. There is not even a section of shirtless dudes who will wave their t-shirts in the stands for your asses. You are fucking pathetic. I know the Red Army already gave Miami the honor, but this is my show, and I feel like you truly are the epitome of the word dumbass. So congrats, you stupid motherfuckers. You get to be the second dumbass of the week this week. You blew this game so hard that you should be behind a dumpster asking for change in exchange for doing so. You are so bad that Wilmington College, my former football team, who hasn't had a winning season since 2008 and is a fucking Division III school, could probably take your asses to overtime and barely lose to you. Wait, they won this weekend? Oh, Otterbine's 0-6? They scored 28 points in the first quarter? Got it. Never mind, they could probably beat the fuck out of you too. At least they've won a couple games behind a high-scoring offense. I pray that I don't have to talk about you fuckers again for the rest of the season. I am sick of this shit, but as for the offseason, trust me, you fuckers are gonna hear plenty from me. If you were looking for a heavyweight bout this weekend, this was it. The Dogs and the Rebs once again put on a performance that had my ass nailed to the couch throughout the whole game. Trinidad Shameless is the real deal, man. For a guy fresh from D2 starting in his first FBS road game, he played exceptionally well. He needed to in order to keep pace with Gunnar Stockton and the Georgia Bulldogs. Defense was not an option in this one. Each team came in and threw fucking haymakers in between the hedges. Touchdowns galore throughout the game, with the punters taking the day off. It was 21-20 at the end of the first half, for God's sake. Ole Miss completely dominated the Georgia defense, while the Bulldog offense was occasionally held to field goals by the Rebs. Ole Miss was so hot on offense, they scored a touchdown on each of their first 5 possessions, leading the game 35-26 going into the fourth quarter. However, they ran out of gas as the Georgia defense finally stopped the Ole Miss attack. Georgia would score 17 unanswered in the fourth quarter and earned the win after being beaten within an inch of its life. For the Bulldogs, it was the second time this season they got knocked around by a high-powered offense, yet found a way to win. The last time, of course, being the thriller against Tennessee a few weeks ago. As chaotic as the SEC has become, there are two narratives that can be reinforced from this game. Georgia is a very good and very deadly football team, and Lane Kiffin has turned Ole Miss into James Franklin's Penn State. Look very powerful and lethal in games that you're supposed to win, but you can't win games when it really fucking matters. Ask Happy Valley how this bullshit worked out for them over the last decade. So much for that $28 million roster, eh? In all fairness, Baron Morton was out injured for this game. I mean, it was obvious from the start. Tech's offense was complete garbage. Will Hammond did the best he could to fill in at quarterback, but he's no Baron Morton. You know who wasn't missing? Sam Leavitt and Jordan Tyson. They made life a living fucking hell for the Red Raider defense. The Sun Devils in this game looked more like the bastards that crashed the Big 12 title game and made the playoffs last year for the first time all season. Now, Tech did try to mount a comeback late in this one after a Will Hammond touchdown run and a touchdown pass to Reggie Virgil to take their first lead all day. The problem? They left 2 minutes on the goddamn clock.
Back the ball game right here. Leavitt on the move. Leavitt throws. It's caught by Tyson. In open space. Tyson reverses inside the 25. Right into the ball. Deuce. It's Brown. Backing his way toward the goal line. He's in. Leavitt jumping for joy.
The Big 12, as expected, remains wide fucking open. This doesn't kill Tech's playoff hopes. It's their first loss of the season, but it does make the road a lot harder now as they fall from the top of the conference. The only chance they have now is to win out and have a few dominoes fall their way. Not an easy ask, but you play in the Big 12, so anything is possible here. Smoke them if you got them, Bama. They beat the living shit out of Tennessee in this one. 4 straight wins against ranked opponents, becoming the 4th team in SEC history to do so. Tennessee just couldn't get out of their own damn way. Drive-killing penalties and a back-breaking pick 6 late in the first half pretty much ended this sucker before halftime. Aguilar just couldn't catch a break. A guy that I thought was going to surprise a lot of people this season because of all the potential he had, fell apart in the 3rd Saturday in October like many other Tennessee quarterbacks have done on the road against Alabama since 2003. Cigar smoke was filling the air in Bryant-Denny long before this fucker ended. I don't know about you guys, but I think the pressure from Alabama losing to Florida State was exactly what the Crimson Tide needed to become one of the scariest teams in the country once more. They just can't lose. Ripping off 6 wins in a row, and no one has been able to slow them down. And honestly, who the fuck will at this point? They have LSU, yeah, sure, but look what happened to them against Vanderbilt. Oklahoma? After that loss to them last year. Yeah, forget it. The Iron Bowl is going to be a funeral for War Eagle at this rate. And don't even get me started on South Carolina. The SEC championship game is far from certain at this point, but Alabama should probably be there come December, as well as in the playoffs. The more things change, the more they stay the fucking same. Way to fucking go, Horns. You have single-handedly set the sport back by 20 years with this god-awful performance against the Wildcats. Texas somehow won without getting 180 yards of offense throughout the whole game. Kentucky is near the bottom of the damn conference, yet they played arguably better than the team who knocked off 6th-ranked Oklahoma a week ago in the Cotton Bowl. What the hell does this say for Texas? Are they just inconsistent or fucking incompetent? Will Arch ever show some improvement, or is he just destined to go the way of Texas quarterbacks during the Charlie Strong years? If Kentucky wasn't so goddamn bad at hanging onto the ball, you would have had your shit rocked from end to end of the field. Instead, you can dump a gallon of perfume over this stank-ass performance simply because you won in overtime, after allowing Kentucky to tie the game late with a methodical drive downfield with only seconds remaining in the 4th. This might as well be a fucking loss at this point because it was one of the worst performances by a winning team from a power conference all season. Lincoln Riley is still a fucking hack. That much has been obvious for a while. Was USC killed? No. Am I shocked? No. Notre Dame was the better team. They ran the ball right up that Trojan ass all fucking night. Lincoln Riley is so easy to figure out and put away in big-time games. It's genuinely amazing that he ever led a team to the fucking playoffs at any point in his coaching career. He can't finish big games and make the correct calls. He tried to overcompensate for bad play calling by coming up with flashy bullshit gimmick plays that rarely worked rather than attack Notre Dame's defense at its weak points. Hey dipshit, did you watch any of the Texas A&M game? Maybe try whatever the fuck the Aggies did rather than some tricky play bullshit in the fucking rain. For being one of the top paid head coaches in the Big Ten and arguably having one of the best paid coaching staffs in the entire country, you frankly shouldn't be paid half of what you make at this point. All Lincoln Riley has to hang his fucking hat on is his years at Oklahoma and Caleb Williams. That's it. You haven't done shit since he left, and you especially can't do shit in the Big Ten. It's such a damn shame that the jeweled shillelagh might be ending after this season. But it's not like your stupid asses would be able to beat the Irish anytime soon anyways. If USC doesn't fire Lincoln Riley no later than this offseason, I'm pretty sure the fans will riot. Or not, considering they still have the fucking Dodgers to root for. Did you morons forget that Auburn isn't actually a bad team, but instead just full of bad luck? Being down 17-10 in the fourth against Auburn is not great, but it's also not terribly surprising. The tough loss to Alabama last week, our only loss of the season to this point, is a tough thing to bounce back from right away. If they were playing anyone other than Auburn, they likely would have lost this game and be on a 2-game skid. Instead, the battered Tiger syndrome was extremely apparent in Jordan Hare. Can't blame the refs this time, Freeze. You fucking choked this one away. You had multiple opportunities to break off some big scores and failed miserably. You had a great chance to take the lead late in the fourth, and you fucked that up too. You had another chance to win the game in fucking overtime, but couldn't make a goddamn field goal. And Mizzou finally had Bo Prabula put you down behind the goddamn woodshed in double overtime. Auburn's defense is actually playing pretty well and did a great job shutting down the run all game. So, I mean, they got that going for them. But the offense misfired like a bad engine all night, and it cost the Auburn Tigers their 4th straight loss. Hey, Freeze, start packing your shit. Everyone in Auburn is sick of it, and the only thing that will save your job now is a bowl game or beating Alabama, both of which ain't looking too great at the moment. There was not a lot of things holy about this war because it was boring as shit for about 45 minutes. The only light we saw in this one, Bear Bachmeier. He might be canonized as a saint by the Mormons if he keeps this shit up. Dude played his best game yet under immense pressure in a rivalry game with high stakes in the Big 12 conference race. Did I mention this fucker is only a freshman, by the way? A true freshman, taking the youths to task and holding his own. That said, it was not flashy. It was 10-7 BYU going into the fourth. However, this is where the game finally hit the gas pedal. Utah came out and finally got themselves another touchdown to take the lead 14-10. Bachmeier, however, was completely unfazed, even after a massive hit that got a Utah player ejected. He shook off the cobwebs and ran the ball into the end zone for a touchdown to retake the lead. Utah came out on the next drive to try to answer, but Devin Dampier threw an interception. BYU did not waste this opportunity. Bear Bachmeier, like a grizzled veteran, put this game to bed his way. Dude just played like he had 5 years of experience in this rivalry. While I'm sure BYU was sad to lose Jake Retzlaff, it wouldn't be crazy to say that BYU's Bear is an overall upgrade to the offense. The Cougars are now 7-0, first in the Big 12 with only Cincinnati behind them. Honestly, I think they might actually run the table at this rate. This team has been tested 2 weeks in a row and hasn't shown any signs of slowing down yet. Well done, BYU. Don't fuck this up. It's time once again for the fastest 3 minutes in college football. You know what it is. It's rapid fire. Hey, look, it's Michigan Light. At least your old quarterback beat the Steelers in the Icy Hot Bowl. All right, Jags, you have a 14-3 lead in the four. You fucking blew it, didn't you?
Lopez over the middle. Ball comes out at the very end, loose in the end zone. Cal football, it is ruled.
How in the fuck do you lose a goal line stand to the goddamn Golden Bear? Remember when Boston College blocked UConn from joining the ACC back in 2011 because of New England supremacy bullshit? UConn remembers. Oh, you bet your fucking ass they remember. Hey, Beamer, Virginia Tech would still love for you to come home at least. The last time Georgia Tech was this goddamn good, your dad was shoving Lincoln Logs up his nose while Grandpa drank himself into a coma. Wait, that's just me? You are the worst goddamn 6-1 team I have ever heard of.
But you have heard of me.
All game. Jake Retzlaff throwing towards the near side. Popped up into the air for Shaz Preston.
How in the fuck did that end up being a touchdown? The beatings will continue until morale improves. The Pony Express does not forgive or forget, Dabo. A B-52 carpet-bombing cowboy sounds like a bad Michael Bay film. Write it, Hollywood! Y'all are on thin ice after Hog City nearly pulled off the funny. Don't blame the weather delay either, you about fucked up last week too. Breaking news, Baylor still can't fucking defense. Oh hey look, the sky is blue. Holy shit, you won? Maybe Sunbelt Billy will make it to the end of the season.
Foreshadowing is a literary device.
Desert Rat Dan Mullen just got eliminated from playoff contention by Boise State. If they can't make it in, no one from the Mountain West will. You retain the brass spittoon and Coach Signetti for $93 million guaranteed. God damn, suck it, Penn State. Texas State, will you please stop kicking your fans in the dick for 5 fucking minutes? Trent Dilfer was apparently the only fucking problem with UAB. Also, Memphis is now out of the playoff hunt. All right, let's beat up Old Crimson.
2 hours later.
Damn, Old Crimson got hands. Dear God, Oregon, that team had a family. I know you're pissed, but fuck, dude. Good God, is Penn State even going to make a bowl game at this point? October, Maryland is still in full swing, I see. Cincinnati murders some Cowboys, and the Queen City finally has something to be happy about. And now, the final game. Fuck. And now, for the next few minutes, as the Doak burns. I have recovered from my reassignment to the chagrin of the owner of this channel. By popular demand, the soap opera returns as Florida State traveled west for a conference game against Stanford. Because nothing says ACC like Palo Alto, California. The battered bastards of Tallahassee come into this game on a 3-game losing streak and have not won an ACC conference game in well over a calendar year. While the Harvard of the West continues to slowly, very slowly, rebuild their program from scratch. This game began as a stalemate with a pair of field goals, but then Stanford begins to lay down some wood and drives downfield to kick another field goal, only to doink it off the crossbar.
First down. Offside. Defense number 3. That 5-yard penalty resulted in first down.
This penalty gives Stanford the momentum to take the ball into the end zone for a touchdown and a 10-7 lead. Tragedy then strikes the Cardinal as their starting quarterback is injured on a devastating hit and knocked out of the game. The Cardinal rally to kick a field goal to take a full 10-point lead. Florida State finally gets its shit together in the dying seconds of the first half as Thomas Castellanos runs the ball into the end zone for a touchdown. Coming out of the second half, the battered bastards of Tallahassee immediately marched downfield for a touchdown, but it was called back as Castellanos threw the ball beyond the line of scrimmage. Stanford takes advantage of the dazed and confused Noles and marches downfield to score another touchdown late to take a 20-10 lead midway through the third. From there, the Seminole offense continuously found itself surrounded by a wall of fucking trees, being unable to get anything going. The best they could do was gain enough yards for a field goal in the fourth quarter. The Seminoles had the top 3 offense coming into this game, but couldn't score more than 13 fucking points. How pathetic. Florida State would get an opportunity to tie the game late, but would fail to score after turning the ball over on downs. However, the Seminole defense was able to get a stop, and the Noles would have another chance to tie the game. Sadly for the Noles, their war chief would pay the ultimate price.
There's a flag. Castellanos has the first down. Slide in at this well. Another flag flies in.
Oh no, there's a man down.
With Castellanos knocked out for the rest of the game, it was up to backup quarterback Kevin Sperry to try and tie the game. The results sadly were predictable as the drive ended in a turnover on downs. However, Stanford was crumbling on offense, and Florida State would get one final chance to win the game.
He's 233. The snap gets away. Sperry picks it up. Got to go to the end zone on the way. Incomplete. There's a flag.
Pass interference. Defense number 22. The foul took place in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down, Florida State.
After the Stanford timeout, here we go. Sawchuk in the backfield. Sperry on the shovel pass. Did he get there? Matt Rose with the tackle.
The game is not over. After further review, the ruling on the field of the runner being short of the goal line is upheld. There's the ball game.
Another upset in the ACC.
What in the flying fuck was that play call, Norville? You had one play from the 1-yard line, and you call it goddamn shovel pass? I am more pissed that it nearly worked. Why would you get cute here with the game up? This is my show, asshole. Now, as I was saying, Florida State came to Palo Alto desperate for a win, and instead crashed the car into a wall of fucking trees. Where do the Seminoles go from here? Will they ever win an ACC conference game again? Can Thomas Castellanos return after that devastating hit? Will Mark Norvell still have a job at the end of the season? These questions and more will be eventually answered as the joke burns. And now, a moment of silence for those teams whose seasons have been ended by firing squad.
Bring out Jadine!
Sorry, Florida State fans, it wasn't the Norvell you were thinking of. It was an even more inferior version. I wasn't expecting this one, to be honest. I mean, Colorado State made a fucking bowl game last year, but outside of their beef with Coach Prime in Colorado, they haven't been relevant in any way. But with the loss to Hawaii this weekend and the offense cratering, not to mention the move to the Pac-12 on the horizon next year, the athletic director decided enough was enough and pulled the plug. Fair enough, I guess. Oh, wait, this one was overshadowed? By who?
Bring out Jadine!
I'm not surprised it happened. I'm just surprised it took this goddamn long to do it. Slightly more surprised it happened after they won a game. That tells me this was a foregone conclusion and they were waiting for the next bye week, which is this upcoming weekend. They got Georgia on November 1st. If they have any hope of winning that game, they needed to do this now and get a new system installed during the break. As for Sunbelt Billy, it was as obvious as hell why he got fired. Look at the record. That is not going to fly at a high-level SEC school, regardless of the excuses. He had DJ Lagway at quarterback, who some people were tagging for a potential Heisman, and the fucker regressed so badly, he threw 5 interceptions against LSU, whose defense is historically trash under Brian Kelly. It's also really easy to blame Billy Boy when he wouldn't give up the play calling duties, even when it was obvious his shit was not working out. The fans and the boosters have been begging for this to happen since early last season, and it's finally done. The revival of the swamp can finally begin in earnest after the Georgia game, because you guys are so fucked the body bags have arrived 2 weeks early.